everyone. I'm back. It's Monday again. I know, right? It's like, wow, this keep happening so fast. Is anybody enjoying the weather in Chicago? You guys are having a heat wave over there. Okay? Y'all be careful because what the old school people say, that's pneumonia weather. So wrap up, stay warm, even though it's already make sure that you stay warm. Anyway, I'm just checking on y'all, see how you all doing. I'm gonna give you a little time to get on here. Okay, so I see we have some greetings already. Hey girl, how you doing? What's going on? Now I'm gonna open the floor up for questions. I wanna open the floor up for questions. So I know we've covered a lot of things, a lot of different things. And the last video I said, if you have questions and you want to ask, this is their free time to ask any questions. We talked a lot about um, the Maslow's human hierarchy of needs as it relates to women because this is Women's Month. It's crazy that women only get like 1 month. It should be like all the time, right? Like, don't be greedy, right? But anyway, I want to know if anybody has any questions because women are so complicated, right? But men are even more complicated. So I'm going to give out those teasers. I'm going to get that out there so you can, you know, get to understand women. So you can have, more comfortable conversations with women and realize when they're approachable. We went over everything, big words like physiological needs. That's just the physical, logically, the physical needs that you have as a woman. A lot of men say, well, I don't know how to please a woman. I don't know how to please a woman. Honey, a good woman is simple to please. All you have to do is read this right here. And it's not difficult because these are just the bare minimum. If you have the bare minimum and that smile, you got to have that smile and that sweet talk. You still got to have it. And you don't need a lot of money because a good woman, I'm going to put it out there like that because there's a whole lot of good women out there. A good woman, and I can only speak for the good women. I can't speak for everybody else because I read this guy on Facebook. He was like, these women, he's like, women, can I ask y'all a question? What is going on with y'all being in the club and y'all hitting each other on the butt and y'all doing all this and that? I'm like, I don't know nothing about that. I don't know nothing about that. I'm not trying to have no other woman. Now, I ain't talking about whoever like that. And that some people say that was good, clean fun or whatever. I'm not trying to hear because my husband will be mad. Okay. You did what? You had what you did? It'll be problems at home. And if you got a man and you out there, he cool with it, that's good for y'all. That's good for y'all. I ain't even mad at you. But this man, he was like, what's going on with that? I can't speak for that. I can only speak about the things that I would do and the things that won't cause no problems at home. You understand? I've been with the same guy for I don't know how long. I stopped counting after 10 years. I don't know who else do, but it's like once you've done all of this with the hierarchy of needs, it's like it just comes natural. You don't even think about it. I don't even think what anniversary is this or what. I'm just steady trying to understand the changes. Oh my God, they say women go through changes. It's not just us. Men put us through changes. That's what it is. Hello, women. Say some. I know you know they be putting us through. They act like it ain't us. Hey, Sean Anthony, that's one cool dude right there, Sean Anthony. He real mellow. He's always mellow, but he'll still low key put you through, okay? Because he a man too. It's like 5 Eddies I got to deal with. Somebody pray. Somebody pray. I thank you for your prayers. If you've ever had to deal with Eddie, you understand when I say I got 5 of them. Got 5 of them. But let's get back to the human hierarchy of needs as it applies to women, because a lot of times people they don't understand why women complain. And it's not about complaining, more so we're notifying you of what we need. Because yes, these are the basic foundations of what we need. But it's like, men, you got to tell a man. I don't know about you in particular, but I have to tell a man more than one time anything I say. And not only that, but ladies, tell me, answer this. How many times have you said the same thing, but it didn't count that you said it again if you said it the same way? Or, oh, okay, for example, I'll tell my husband or the boys or something, I'll say something and I'll say it nice. Nobody heard it. Nobody heard it. I'll tell them again another time in the same way. They didn't hear it. They didn't hear it. So you gotta wait till they on the video game and say something because they heard it then. They heard it then. You gotta wait till they busy. That counts for two more times. So you said it nice. Now you said it when they were on a video game, and now you said it again when they were busy doing something else. That's the only time it counts, women. That's the men's hierarchy of human needs in a relationship. And I don't know, I'm not trying to get off of the women's needs, but I'm trying to show you the relation, because it's like if you do one without the other, there's an off balance there. And it's like, okay, well, now we understand women a little bit better, but why is it that it clicks? Why does it interact? Why does this work this way? Let me show you. So, a woman, you could say it real nice to her. She heard you the first time. That's because women, that's a woman. Men, they're more physical. So you have to really, really get in their face. It has got to be at different times because they're not going to hear you. They say, oh, can you wash the dishes? They didn't hear you. They didn't hear you. Wait till he watching his show. Wait till he's streaming something really good, binge watching something, and say, hey, can you wash the dishes? I'm going to wash the dishes. I heard you the first time you said it. Now, this counts for two times. Any other time, it don't count as the same. But you could tell a woman, you could say, hey, I need such and such. That's all you got to say. And it's done. It's done. So if you think about it, men and women, they're saying the same thing, but it's happening differently for women than it is for men. So the needs differ as far as the fundamental method of communication. So now you have that understanding. You need to understand that that provides the safety and security that women need. Also, men, because men want to believe that they're providing. They're providing. And how are they going to believe they're providing? When you exhibit that you're safe, you feeling safe. You're safe with their ability to communicate. And a lot of times, a lot of people feel like, that's a good woman. She a good woman. She got a man, he ain't got no job. I don't understand how that woman with a man and he doesn't have no job. It's because you don't have to meet intricately all of these needs. You have to touch on these needs. So you don't have to be perfect, because a good woman, she gonna work with you just like a good man will work with a good woman. And a lot of times people say, well, um, I don't understand why that woman, she got all of this and all of that, but she with a man that can't do nothing, can't do nothing. No, he did something. He did these basic things, the basic physiological needs, the basic needs of feeling safe, because he's talking to her and communicating with her and making her feel safe, even if it's just feeling safe that he's not going to cheat on her. And he can't cheat on her if he ain't got no job. He ain't going nowhere. I'm just saying, a lot of guys be like, well, he doing it. He ain't got no job. He ain't got this. What is it that he's doing for her? She feel real comfortable in that relationship because he ain't got no excuse to be out here with his eye wondering, well, what's she doing? What's she doing? No, so she's feeling safe and secure in the relationship. And a lot of people don't understand. That's what a lot of women consider love and intimacy. And when she gets home, he's talking to her. And it's like, that's a level of intimacy that a lot of men don't understand because they don't do a whole lot of talking. For some people, that's good. For some women, they need you to talk a lot because that's considered a level of intimacy. And then when she find out you talking to some other female, I don't care who that female is, you're in trouble because you shouldn't be talking to no other female because you should be talking to her. You may have said it to her already, or you may have thought you said it to her already because she supposed to read your mind and read your feelings and meet and read your moods. Y'all say women act like they once need somebody to read their mind. Men don't do a whole lot of talking. And y'all want somebody to understand. Oh, didn't you see me sit down over here? That mean I don't want to be talked to. No, you could have just said that. You're not a child. You could say that. And it disturbs your intimacy. So when you thinking y'all finna go in the boom boom room and do your thing, you try to figure out why y'all not gonna be having that boom boom room time because you didn't meet the intimacy level of her needs. So you talking to everybody else, then you want to go in the bedroom with her. She like, Joker. We didn't have no kind of connection. We didn't have no kind of intimacy. And now you want to go do what? Be physical? No, it's a level to this. It's level and stages to this. And even though everybody's stages, the steps are different for them, you got to figure it out. You got to figure it out. And once you figure it out, you have to master it. Because a lot of times you juggling. You juggling and the balls are in the air and they're gonna land where they're gonna land. And just like gambling and they got the balls on the news and they got the balls and it's these balls and the numbers are in there and it's tumbling. Yeah, you got to see what it's going to land on. You can't just say, oh, well, I did it. Let's go in the room. A woman, she's not going to work like that. It works like that for a man, but we're not doing men this yet. Just yet. Just yet. We'll do men after this because I'm telling you, that's going to blow your mind. These men think, oh, when nobody knows my tricks, nobody knows how to get to me. Oh my God. It's so easy. It's so easy. Women do it all the time. That's why we started with women so that we can understand what they mean when they say things like, you're not meeting my needs. You're not meeting the needs, and you don't understand how you're not meeting the needs, how somebody that you feel is less than you are fitting the needs for that good woman that you wanted, but you can't feel the needs that that woman wants. Well, that's because you're not understanding when she talks. You're not understanding how to make her feel safe. You can't get to the level of the respect she needs so that you can, hey, Eddie, yeah, okay. But at the same time, it's a mutual thing because she's not only waiting for you to do that for her, she's already done it for you, and you feeling safe, you feeling secure, but she's still feeling like, I don't know where we stand. And you're a man, they're like, well, I don't know why she don't understand how I feel. Don't she understand I want to lock her away? No, that don't mean nothing to her. That means that you want to do whatever you want to do and you want her to stay locked away. Lock and key. And it gives a woman the matter that she don't matter. It makes her feel like you don't respect her. It brings down her esteem, and it takes down her strength because she doesn't understand, why are you like that? Why are you doing this? And then she says, well, I'm securing him, I'm providing him all of this. And in the man's mind, what he's thinking is, man, if she gets out that door and anybody else see her, she's going to get caught by somebody else. And that man's going to be a better man than me. And he's going to take her off her feet. When a good woman has her eye on somebody, she's not going to just up and leave him, even if she sees someone that's a better man than you. You don't have no job. Nobody knows how y'all together, and she got everything together. She's gorgeous, totally out of your league, but nobody understands how that woman is still with you. I'm telling you, rewind. That's why. And then you have to understand it all provides her that respect that she's looking for that another man isn't giving her, and she's not going to just go right out of this and go right into some man that is doing that. So it's a recognition of status, in the relationship. And once you have that recognition of status, it takes a long time to build that because it's many different levels. But once a good woman has that, She's not trying to just jump out of that and try to establish that with another man. That is why a lot of women get upset when they have a relationship with a guy, because they've worked on this relationship and they built this man, and now this man gonna go and it's gonna benefit some other sister. She's like, I'm mad about that. And that's why a lot of good women will stay single for a long time, because they've done so much that they have this freedom, they have this strength in this one person, regardless of how anybody else sees this person. They're like, well, this is it. I'm not doing anything else. Yes, I'm sure there's plenty other guys out there, but this is the guy I'm with. And a lot of guys don't understand why you should feel free that this is the woman for you. This is the woman you with. And a lot of times, even in marriage, guys don't understand. So I don't even know why guys will give a woman an excuse why he's not marrying her. When he knows that this is a good woman. This woman ain't going nowhere. She's providing me everything I need. I love her. She's showing me all the time that she love and respect me, and she's meeting my hierarchy of human needs. And we're vibing, we vibing. But you don't understand why she feels like you don't do what you need to do to secure her, and that's because you need to rewind and look at it. I promise you, it's right there. It's right in front of your face. Right in front of your face. Now, I want to know who has any questions about this. It was a time where everybody waits until the end to ask questions. Come on and pop on and ask those questions now. Ask those questions now. Now, the one I really want to get into is the top one. All of these things were the D needs. D needs were the motivational things that catapult you to the B values, to be those things and already have those things and maintain those things. So the meta motivation, that's the mega of all motivations, because now you have all of that. You feeling secure, you feeling safe, you have a relationship that you've been with somebody. And I don't know, but as for me, a lot of women, they say, well, I don't know why I've been with this man for so many years and he still hasn't asked me to marry him. Okay, it comes a time in your life where you have to tell a man, because they won't move. They won't move. Sometimes they're a little stubborn. But I believe in the word when it said that a saved woman will save her husband. So, and it may not be that y'all married by the law of the land, but in your hearts y'all married. So you have to motivate him to be man enough to pop that question and ask you, so that he can be in a situation where he feels like, yes, I'm going to ask her to marry me. Oh, I know, right? You do have to chase her even though you already have her, just like a man wants. For example, a man, even though he has seen a woman naked, a lot of women feel like, oh, I'm just going to get naked. I'm just going to be naked. And that's going to be my Valentine's Day gift. That's going to be my Valentine's gift. And my gift for him when he's on his birthday and any kind of gift giving time. Okay, yeah, he's seeing you naked, but you also have to still dress up. You have to put on that bodycon dress. And I ain't talking about just to be going to church. Y'all need to stop that. Y'all need to stop giving them old men a heart attack coming up in the church with them bodycon dresses on and then talking about praise Jesus. No, y'all need to stop. Y'all need to stop. But your man want to see that. And when you showing him that, it's not, he don't want you to stop showing him that. That's you chasing him. And men, they didn't think about it that way. They didn't think about it like, man, she does. She cooking, she cleaning, she taking care of the kids. She always tentative to my needs. That's how a woman chases a man, because she can't go out there and say, hey, I'm gonna go grab you out the club. That's for a man to do. Now, I'm not gender rolling. I'm not trying to gender role. I'm trying to help you understand what is appealing to these particular types of people. It's not about, oh, well, you stereotyping, you gender rolling and putting people in a box. No, you have to understand the very bare minimum. And this is what we're talking about when we're talking about the human hierarchy of needs and the self actualization. And when you, a lot of times, I have to remind people that when you get yourself to a position where you can handle being in a relationship, then you could accept being in a relationship. But if you can't handle yourself, you can't handle being in a relationship and accept anybody in your relationship. And if you have this bare minimum understanding, then you can understand how to elevate yourself to get to the highest level. So a lot of times people they are able to move onward to the transcendence level when they have all of these things accomplished. And a lot of people are like, well, when do you do that? When do you do that? It's all mental. Everybody is different. Every stage is different. And how you reach those things are different. So once you reach the transcendence level, you're like, okay, well, I still don't have a man. I still don't have a good woman. I still can't find where these good women are and what's going on. You got to understand something else. You got to understand something else. You got to put yourself in a position where you can be in the way of a man that's a good man. And then you can't keep friend zoning everybody. That's not helping you. You can't keep friend zoning everybody thinking, oh, well, you're disqualified because I have a weight limit requirement for my man. I have a job limit requirement for my man. You can't have a McDonald's job. And it's all of these things that keep knocking everybody out of the box. But you got to understand when a couple gets together, for example, I'm gonna use me and my husband as an example. My husband didn't have a job like that. He didn't have nothing, and we were on the bus, public transportation, okay? And um when I say a job like that, I mean like a career where he was well established and we could do all of these elaborate things and go out on all this. He just had the bare minimum, and that was enough. He had the bare minimum and the ability to communicate that this is where I forecast us going. Do you agree? Are you on board with that idea? And if I say yes, guess what? That means we can start moving together in that way, in that way. So you can't just say, oh, well, I'm only going to do it when this or that. We already had an understanding of what we wanted, where we wanted to go, and how we wanted to get there. It didn't just up and happen. It took years. He named the kids long before we had kids. And that's the kind of mentality that you have to have. And ladies, you also have to understand you can't go out here and just say, okay, well, I'm a act like we're married and we're not married. I told my husband, I was like, yeah, certain things we're gonna do before we marry, and there's certain things we're not gonna do. And you have to toe the line. You have to hold them accountable to the line. So he'll move the way you need him to move so you can feel like he's meeting your hierarchy of needs. If you are not doing what you need to do, like holding him accountable to meeting those needs, you need to focus. All of those may be in that man. That's right. And you have to build to that. So all of those things are in you and in that man. And when y'all saying y'all touching and agreeing and saying, yes, this is what we're gonna do, then nobody should be able to move you out of that relationship because you all are already meeting all of those hierarchy of human needs. And yeah, that it's still going to be other people out there that you may feel like, oh, well, this person meets this level right here and this person meets that level right there. But you have already established this, so you need to continue to build on that, and you need to put God in it and put that ring on it, because that'll take you to another step. That's that transcendence level. People out here looking for luxury rather than putting forth the work and building. And that's what you got to understand. The Bible says a good woman builds a house and a bad one tears it down. And you got to understand, you can't walk in and the house is already built. Even if you were in a relationship where the house is already built, right? And you go into the relationship, the man got kids already, you still know you got to come in here and you got to fix this, you got to fix that. You're building. A good woman will continuously build, whereas a bad woman will tear it down. So if you as a man, you have yourself established and you got a house, you got this, you got that, and everything's going, and all you need is a woman, she's going to come in, a good woman, she's going to come in and she's going to help you build. She's gonna add to it. She's gonna keep on going and help you, motivate you those in a D needs manner. She's going to motivate you to keep going, to be all that you can be. And y'all going to keep on growing together. But you have to be able to communicate effectively because people's needs change. People's needs change. And if you can't change along with them, they're going to look at you and they're going to ask you, well, what's wrong with our relationship? Oh my God, men hate that. Men hate when women say, well, they want to evaluate the situation, see what's wrong, what's going on. So you have to ask yourself, well, why is she asking me this? Well, bring up this chart. Bring up this chart. What is it that I'm lacking? Where is she finding fault? Why is she asking me these questions? It's not a bad thing. It's a good thing. Half of the times, the ones all requirements don't have much. Yeah, but a lot of times it's not about what you can offer up front right away. It's what they see in you. And a lot of times a person can see, oh, because a man is watching you all the time. He's watching all the time. So he's sitting in the cut watching you and he thinking. And if you with a man and he looking at you like this, you ask him, what you doing? Picturing your life without me? You better ask some questions because you don't know what's going on with them. So what you need to understand is when you constantly asking a man, these are the questions that you should be asking so y'all know how to grow. So y'all don't grow apart. And even if you do start to grow apart from one another, you need to make some time to weave it back together. Weave it back together. Because let me tell you, your crazy match his crazy by this time, and y'all both know where y'all want to go. So y'all got to stay focused and get there together. Because it's like, how can you expect to get to the most highest level of the hierarchy of human needs? You can't you can't get to the transcendence level and you're not you're not exercising the spirituality. That's why I said it doesn't matter what title, what label that you have your spiritual um exercise and whatever spirituality that you have, because the big idea behind it is you have a relationship with the I am, with the creator, the Alpha Omega. You have to have that. And that, when you have that, it's going to keep pushing you forward. It's like pushing you, it like a D needs, like a B needs. It's all of those all together, wrapped up together. Yeah. Some people do have their expectations too high, which causes them to struggle. But that's why I wanted to put this hierarchy of needs on here so that you could keep on working on that. And that's why I wanted to open up for questions, because a lot of times people don't understand. Okay, now you've given me the chart, you've given me the answer key, but you may not know how to use it. So I'm not saying don't do therapy. I'm not saying don't pay for people to give you therapy and help you understand how to use this key, because you need help using this key, because everyone is different. And just because you have a key doesn't mean you know how to manipulate it to work for what you're trying to get it to do. So that's why the need to open up the floor for questions is so apparent, because a lot of times you'll get somebody the key, they think, okay, I got it, I'm gonna go and run with it. And then they don't understand why the key didn't work. It is a skeleton key and it's gonna work for every door, but you gotta know how to use it. You gotta know when to use it. You can't just go around thinking it applies and that this is what, and then blame me because I gave you the key. No, no, no. I'm opening the floor for questions, and I don't want to wait all the way to the end for people to start asking me questions and how it applies to their relationship. Because the moment that you have the question, you need to write it down. If you're watching this in a recording, you need to write it down and you need to come to the live stream on Mondays, 5 o'clock Central time, and 4 o'clock um, Mountain Standard Time. So if you have a question, you could come and ask your question, because a lot of times, just because you have the key, just because you have the answers, it doesn't mean that you're going to retain it in the way that you need, so that when the situation is upon you, you can go out here and apply it as needed. Okay? What you say, Eddie? You need to understand. Okay. And a lot of times, the stubbornness, it's a bit of a stubbornness there, because everybody wants to be the boss. All the everybody wants to be the boss. The woman want to be the boss, and the man want to be the boss. Who is the boss, Tina? Who is the boss? I'm gonna show you who the boss is. Okay, first is God. Okay, then it's the man, but it's really the woman, because if you think about it, back when Adam and Eve were doing their thing, who led them to do what they wanted to do? Eve did. Why? The power of the, I don't think you could say this word on this, so I'm not gonna say it. But let me tell you, that's a strong motivator. And me and y'all doing something, y'all doing something. But let me tell you, the power of a woman, she will have you doing some things, and you'll be looking like, oh, I don't know why I did that. She was good though. She was really good. She had me thinking this and believing that. Yup. That's why it doesn't say that a man tears a house down. It says a woman. That's what it says in the word. A woman builds the house and a woman tears it down. So you got to think, why is that? And that's a lot of power when the man is supposed to be the head. Yeah, the man is the head, but guess what? He's easily manipulated. I know the men out there mad. I know the men out there mad. And that's why you have to have a good woman. That's why you have to have a good woman, because yeah, men are able to be manipulated, and it's going to cause some problems. Maybe not Adam and Eve level, but definitely some problems. So what you want to do is you want to keep the lines of communication open. You want to revisit this hierarchy of human needs, and you want to ask questions. I know men don't like to ask any questions because they don't like to talk. But women, when they asking questions, they doing it in a roundabout way that it doesn't really click to a woman what it is he's asking, what it is he's doing, and why is this and why is that. You have to know how to ask the right questions at the right times, because you can ask them and they didn't hear you. You can ask them, when is the right time? When is the right time? I told you it's different times. And a lot of times men really hear you when just before they about to curl over and suck their thumb and go to sleep. You understand what I'm saying? So that's when they really hear you. Or just before they ask you who your daddy is, ask them that question right then. Ask them that question right there. They might be a little mad at you, but they gonna give you the answer you want to hear, and they gonna give you the security that you want to hear, and then he gonna be thinking about it later on. And I know that that sounds crazy, but I haven't been married for all these years, and I've stopped counting just to give you bad advice. Okay, trust me. And I'm not mad at S&M people, so I'm just going to give this little bit of advice. If you got to strap a dude down, gag, ball, and gag him so that you can play with his mind and with his head, with his head, you can do that. There's no limits to how you communicate effectively with the one you with. Now, a man, he'll say, maybe he'll bring some goodies home, and that's his way of trying to manipulate you. Like he'll bring some flowers home when he's messed up, and he'll do, okay, well, I'm gonna take you out to dinner. That's his way of talking to you differently, and he tells you different things during those moments. You got to know as a woman how to reach the man when you can't reach him any other way. You're not going to learn that in the church, and you're definitely not going to learn it in any other establishment of faith. But I don't think that God didn't want us to know. For example, in the Garden of Eden, um, God put the tree of knowledge there. I don't think it wasn't, you know, it wasn't for temptation. And I don't think that he never intended for Adam and Eve to eat of the tree of life or knowledge or whatever you want to call it. They were just born. They were newborns. You can't give a baby a knife and tell them go in the kitchen and cut me up an apple. It takes time. So I think that somebody came in, the serpent came in and made them do something a little faster than they were ready to receive it. So that's why these hierarchy of needs are different for every individual. You have to get the person ready. You have to be willing. You can't be stubborn and then try to get them. You got to get them to release their willingness to be stubborn and relax their mind, relax their will to do something else and get them focused on what it is you're trying to get them to do. Now, you may have tried to use these human hierarchy of needs as I suggested you do in a previous show. I want to know how that worked out for you. I want to know when you put the names of the different individuals as how they meet this need. You got the hierarchy of needs chart and you put the person's names on the list as it applies to this particular aspect of the chart. For example, I'll be here and I'll say, well, I can supply my own bare necessities, need to sleep, need for shelter, food. And like I told you before in a previous recording, in a previous show, it's not about what you can do for yourself because it's not that you need a person, it's that you want the person. And what does that mean? That's not a derogatory statement. That's not something to tear anybody down. That's letting you know that I'm going to put the burden on both of us equally. Why is that important? Because there's a lot of men out here that can't take that kind of pressure that says, well, I got to supply all your needs. I got to do this for you. I got to do that for you. I can't. That's too much pressure. A woman isn't helpless. A good woman is not helpless. You don't have to do anything. She can do things, but she wants you to do. For example, she don't need you to provide food, shelter, and all of that thing, but she would like for you to, and you show her I can supply those bare minimum needs. You don't feel threatened when she tells you, "I don't need a man. I don't need a man." Ask her. So, do you want one? I was married, and I went to a club. I love to play billiards, and I went into the club to play, and I just wanted to play. And the man said, man, he saw the ring on my finger and it was huge. So it was no denying that I was married. And I don't need a ring to speak for me. I got a mouth. So I told the man, I was like, yeah, I'm married. He said, oh, but are you happily married? Why it can't apply to the same thing when you say, oh, she don't need no man, but do you want one? That's the question you need to be asking. Well, I don't need no man to provide shelter for me. I have shelter. Ask her, but do you want a man to provide and to fix the pipes up in the house and to fix this and do that and help you to build that house to make it stronger and better and more comfortable for you to live in? And she'll say yes if you're talking right. If you're talking right, she may say, "I don't need a man to feel secure and safe and for him to help me with my health. I got a job. My job does all of that." You need to ask her, "Do you want somebody?" And then the answer will be yes. And a man who understands the difference between what a woman needs and what a woman wants, he'll feel secure in the relationship already. And he won't be going out there to wander around about what other woman he can get because he knows already she complicated. The woman I got already is complicated. And she's always telling me something else that we doing. And yeah, you have to keep a man busy like that. How many women out there been together with a man for a long time to know? You got to keep a man busy like that because if he's not busy, he getting into trouble. Like a lot of kids at school that's intelligent beyond the level of the grade they're in, they getting into trouble because they did this. So a man, he's like, oh, okay, I did this, and you never want a man to feel like you not keeping him busy because you giving him too much time to do something else. Trust me, you don't have no time to do anything else because you need to be doing this, you need to be doing that. I need this. So that's where that constant communication is coming from. And guys, you may feel like some women are nagging you. Create a limit, create a boundary. So she'll understand the difference between communicating effectively and nagging. I don't nag. I tell the man something one time, he better be listening. He better be listening because I'm always going to help you to understand. I don't need you, I want you. And if I ask you to do something, guess what? You better do it because I didn't need you to do it. I asked you to do it because I wanted you to do it. Hi, Matthew. How you doing, honey? So that's the difference. It's not to make anybody feel less than. It's to let the person understand your hierarchy of needs and where they fit into your life. And the reason why everybody wants to understand where you fit into their life is so that they can understand, okay, we connecting, we're growing, and this is how we're going to grow. Yeah, that's right. But a lot of men, Matthew, believe that women nag. And it's not that they nag, it's that they're talking. They talk a lot. But I've met some men that talk too much too, okay? So I'm not gonna even trip on the women. The women feel like you're not hearing them. And that's when it gets to be nagging. So rewind and understand. You're not getting it through to them because you're saying it the same way and at the same moment all the time. You have to use different moments to say the same thing in different times. And that's when he will grasp what you just said. He cannot grasp it any other way. I don't care how good that man is, he's juggling a lot. And you have to understand if you're doing it like this, like I'm telling you, then you will understand it'll be far more effective communication. Or why do you want better communication? Because you're trying to make sure that this person truly does meet your hierarchy of needs because this is the person that you love. It don't matter what their shortcomings is. It don't matter where they're coming up short. It don't matter that they're not perfect. But if you do all of these things, that transcendence level is when God steps in. God steps in. And when does he really step in? When you, as a man, propose to that woman and make her your wife. She don't need an elaborate wedding. Okay? Y'all already got kids. You don't need no elaborate wedding. Go to the JP. I ain't even tripping on the JP because I didn't have children when I went to the JP. I got married at the Justice of the Peace. And I don't mind. Hey, Eddie, I don't mind. I know I earned that white dress. I know how pure I was. And I know he know, and I know he appreciate nobody else having been in that room. You know what I'm saying? So there's no problem with the JP. You go because your objective is to reach that transcendence level. Why? There's blessings in it. There's blessings in it. You trying to get somewhere. You trying to prepare yourself to get somewhere, and you don't understand how you got to put God in it. Marry by faith, by the law of the land. Just write your name on that paper. Say the I do's because you're already in the situation. You already got the woman or the man that you want, the person, your person, and you love that person. Now you got to get to the transcendence level where you can be blessed to receive and be prepared to hold on to all those things that you want in life. So you can keep building, keep growing, keep glowing. You can't get there otherwise. What do I mean by that? Do I mean that you have to have a person? No, you don't have to have a person. What I mean is that when you get to the level of transcendence, you can't get to where you're trying to go and be all that you could be without also getting to that level of transcendence. You could get there alone. You don't need a mate to get there. I was there, didn't have a mate. Eddie and I, we were going through things. I was already ready. Let me tell you what I mean by that. It wasn't a particular age that you get ready. You're not ready when you're 21 and you finish school, at least your bachelor's, and now you're ready for a relationship. No, it's a mental thing. It's a mental thing that exhibits itself physically. that you were ready. And everybody was coming out of the woodwork asking me to marry them because I was already there. I had already reached all the hierarchy of human needs for myself. I've already supplied those things for myself. Then I was at the highest level, which is the transcendence level. I'm working on my relationship as far as spirituality is concerned and making myself a whole person before anybody else even came into the picture asking me to marry them. People were giving me offers that you would not believe, okay? But there was one person, nobody could understand why she chose this guy because that's who I liked. That's who I wanted to say yes to. It didn't matter that he didn't have anything. It didn't matter that he couldn't give me that elaborate wedding and that expensive white dress. None of that mattered. And that's what you have to understand about that level of transcendence. It's more difficult for you to be moved and to be tricked and to be wavering back and forth with, oh, well, I don't know about this one. I don't know about that one. Guess what? You're going to go through hell with whoever you pick, regardless of who it is you pick. Even if this was the perfect person for you, you're going to go through some things because that's just the way it is. If it wasn't so, every religious faith would not have said it. It would only be in the Christian faith, in the Bible. It would only be in the Quran. It would only be in Confucianism. It would only be in Taoism. It is everywhere. So you're going to go through some experiences, regardless of whether you with somebody or you by yourself. It was because you were amazing. That's the true story. Okay, let you tell it. I'm gonna let you tell it because guess what? I'm always hype my man up. I don't know about nobody else. I'ma always hype my man up and my sons. Why? Because I'm building, baby. I'm building. And I'm building them to be that the word says, speak those things to be not as though they were. He don't have to know how I feel really, unless I get angry and be like, now you know I spoke it and it wasn't really. But there's limits to fighting, ladies. There's limits to fighting. I don't care how angry you get at your man. Some truths you shouldn't tell. Some truths you shouldn't tell. Is that right? I'm just gonna I'm gonna let all the Eddies say how amazing all the Eddies are because it's one me in a house full of five Eddies. Okay? Yes, all the Eddies are amazing, especially the one I'm married to. Okay? What I tell you, gonna be trouble in the house. It's gonna be trouble. You gotta know how to talk. And if you don't know how to talk, you're gonna learn real quick. Some women say, "Well, I ain't gonna do that." It's all fun and games. It's not taking anything away from you. Yeah, you still a strong woman. You still a beautiful, strong woman inside and out. It don't hurt you. It don't hurt you. Get out your feelings. Get out your feelings and understand the big picture. What is the big picture? The big picture is it's not about what you need, it's about what you want. You already supply what you need. You already supply what you need. So stop going around telling everybody, I don't need this. I don't need that. It's about what you want. So a lot of times people feel like, okay, well, you don't understand that you focused on the wrong thing. You don't understand you focused on the wrong thing and you're conditioned to think and say and feel these ways. And then you don't understand how those dark thoughts come in. How those people can say, oh, well, you're depressed. Oh, well, you're not happy. Oh, well, you're feeling like you want to do what? That devil is a lie. You have to understand that before anybody can even get into your life, you can reach all of these levels by yourself. They're just adding to it. They're adding to it. So you have reached all of these levels for yourself, starting from one all the way to the transcendence level. And when you get to the self actualization level, a lot of times that's when people start to come into your life and try to be in a relationship with you. But you need to continue to move forward to the transcendence level to make yourself a whole person. People don't make you a whole person. Your Once you get the flesh taken care of, all of these human hierarchy of needs below the very top triangle, now you need to have that self-actualization, but you need to continue to move forward to the transcendence level, which is the spiritual aspect of everything that makes you you. Everything that you aspire to be, everything you keep trying to strive to grow and build, you need to keep on going because the blessing is in the spiritual connection that you are building. That's where it is. And you're looking at the favor of man. A lot of people are saying, well, this person, it's all about who you know. I'm going to show you why that's not exactly true. It's not exactly true because in the Bible, it says your gift will make room for you. And a lot of spiritual faiths, it also shows different ways of how your talents, how you glowing, and that's gonna make room for you because you glow. You move into a space, and it was dark in that space, and suddenly that space lit up. That's your talent making room for you. So it's not necessarily about who you know. You the one they want to know. You are the one they want to know because you have reached this level and they're like, they got to be around you. So, and they're going to make room for you. They're going to invite you places. They're going to want you to be where they are, that you're going to get promoted because you are unwavering, because you have taken care of your hierarchy of human needs where you don't need another person but you want another person. So how are you going to get that person and secure that person once you have everything you already need already on your own? How is this person going to contribute to this level to make you feel like, okay, yeah, I'm this my person. This my person. How is that? You're going to give them everything they need. You're going to rewind because we already talked about it. You're going to watch all the other videos because it's a lot of Easter eggs in there for everybody. And you're going to come to understand what I mean by this extremely top level transcendence. Why is that important? Because we are body, flesh, blood, all of that, but we also spirit. We're also spirit. And without the acknowledgement of that, that's when you could be a self-actualization and still have those dark thoughts to creep in, still have those dark feelings to creep in. What do you do to deflect that? You have to keep studying. It may be that, okay, well, I've studied everything in the Bible and maybe I haven't, but I'm tired and I'm bored of that. Okay, study Confucianism. The Bible, God never said, oh, well, and even when Jesus came, he didn't certify that that's the religion everybody should be doing. He didn't do that. God is an omnipotent being. He is everywhere at the same time. So you have to imagine our tiny little bodies cannot in no way please him just by doing one thing. You can't even please yourself and meet all of your hierarchy of needs by doing one thing. So imagine God, we made in his image. Imagine him. You can't say, well, Christianity is a bad way to please God. Taoism is a bad method to please God. You can't say that because he didn't condemn those things when Jesus came. Jesus never said that. um, you have to understand that even though you feel like, okay, you got the answer, but you studying that answer, you studying that faith, and you still feeling a little like, man, maybe I should study something more. Yes, you should, because from what I read, and from what I learned, everybody does encourage this kind of communication, this kind of connection. And it's said in the word that everything will return to the days of old. What was the days of old originally? Pangea. Do you understand what Pangea is? Pangea was before everything divided. It's like the Tower of Babel. The Tower of Babel was one thing and building up, and all the people came together to build that tower until God said, you know what? No, you're not going to cheat. And then everybody dispersed and separated. Same thing with the earth. God separated that one island surrounded by water. Well, there was water in it as well, but he separated it, he divided it. And there's going to come a time where everybody, and look at social media. Social media is everywhere. You know everything that's going on in China. You know we're over there. You've never been, but you know what it looks like. You know everything is going on with Russia. You know everything that's going on because everything is returning to the days of old. It's there's a connection. So you can't say, well, In the Bible it says, well, nobody will ever be able to say that they didn't know God, that they didn't know God exists, because it's everywhere. Everybody's talking about it. Even in your hierarchy of human needs, there's this level that you seeking a place in God. I don't care what you call him. God holds his word above his name. What does that mean? That means you could call him Jehovah. You could call him whatever you want to call him. He know who you talking to, but his word won't return to him void. So if he says, okay, yeah, it's one body but many parts, that means that, yeah, you could praise me in this way, you could praise me in that way, you could do this for me and do that for me, and it makes me feel good, it makes me feel whole, it makes me feel like blessing you. Okay, just like with the human hierarchy of needs, it makes them, when a woman is getting these needs met, it makes her feel like she want to bless you with a little bit of extra something, something. It makes a man feel like, oh, she making me feel good, I'm gonna bless her with something, something. So you understand, when you get to the level of transcendence, this is what you're looking for. This is what you need. This is what makes those dark thoughts this go away. This is what makes that feeling of incompleteness go away. This is what you have to understand. It's not just one aspect. It is many things, many things. And by studying to show yourself approved, you're learning and growing and feeling more fulfilled, feeling like you have a more solid foundation so that nothing can come and shake you, even if somebody comes and says negative things, says bad things, and try to do things to you. And you don't have to worry about, okay, I don't have this, I don't have that. It says, I've never seen the righteous forsaken or beg for bread. Why? Because there's going to be, it's not about who you know here physically, because somebody's going to recognize that glow in you because it's in them. And they're going to say, hey, come here. I got something for you. Hey, come here. I got a job for you. Hey, come here. I got some place that you could be. You're not where you can be. For example, I remember when I moved out of my mom's house into the dorms. I was going to UIC in Chicago, downtown Chicago. I wanted to get into some trouble. I wanted to get into some stuff and see what's out there. Okay. I wanted to know what's out there for me. What's out there for me. And no matter what I did, somebody saw me, didn't know me, but they saw me because they knew who they were. And they said, now come over here. Now come over here. And that's what I'm talking about. You don't necessarily have to know this person. They're gonna know you by your glow. for for example, you can have a job and you could be in your cubicle and you doing the best job you doing. You could do the best job you doing. But what's going on? What's really going on? Okay. They say, man, this is the worker right here. As quiet as you are, as out of the way as you are, they're gonna know you, and they're gonna say, "Yeah, come here." And you could be elevated to the next level. All you ever really did was your job, and sit there, be quiet, and do what you got to do. You can have that deep desire in your heart that I want to do this and I want to be here, and you could, because you're reaching that transcendence level, whatever way that may be, because you're reaching out to that transcendence level, that's going to make room for you wherever you want to be, whatever you're trying to get to, whatever you need. How do I know? I'm telling you, because I've been there, I've seen it. I've been in the office doing the files, and they used to, women, they don't see women. Men don't see women. In business, they don't see women. And that's a problem. But I've been there doing the files, and I've seen how somebody from nowhere came out of nowhere, and suddenly they recognized that person because that person was a good worker. That person did what they had to do, and they elevated that person. So don't worry about, oh, it's about who you know. You reach that level of transcendence. That's who you know, and that's who's going to make room for you. Okay, that's my time for today. I appreciate everybody for coming. I appreciate everybody for watching the videos. I want you to share the videos, and whomever gets these videos shared to them, You have to understand what this person is trying to tell you. They trying to tell you they want to make it work with you, and they don't know how to communicate effectively with you. So y'all go over that human hierarchy of needs chart together, and y'all gonna build each other together. Okay. So y'all come back here with your questions in hand and come on time and ask your questions. Until next time, rewind. All right.